Andrew Jackson, the seventh President of the United States, served from 1829 to 1837 and remains one of the most polarizing figures in American history. Elected as a populist outsider, Jackson claimed to represent the common man, the average citizen who was tired of being ignored by the political elite, and he promised to shake up Washington with a new kind of politics that was more responsive to the people. One of Jackson's most controversial actions was the use of the spoils system, which rewarded political allies with government jobs, regardless of their qualifications. This practice, which had been common in local and state politics, was new on the national stage, and it raised concerns about corruption and patronage. But Jackson defended it as a way to give ordinary citizens a greater voice in government. Another consequential and controversial act of his presidency was the Indian Removal Act of 1830, which forcibly relocated Native American tribes from their ancestral lands to new reservations west of the Mississippi River. This act, which resulted in the tragic Trail of Tears, was a low point in American history and a stark reminder of the human cost of westward expansion. But Jackson was not deterred by such tragedies. In fact, he went on to defy the Supreme Court ruling in Worcester v. Georgia, which had affirmed the land rights of the Cherokee Nation. Instead, he pushed ahead with the removal of Native Americans, deepening the already vast chasm between the executive and other branches of government. Economically, Jackson was a staunch opponent of centralized banking, and he made it clear that he did not want a monopoly on financial power. To that end, he vetoed the recharter of the Second Bank of the United States, which he saw as a threat to states' rights and the sovereignty of the people. He then proceeded to withdraw federal funds from the bank and redistribute them to state banks, a move that pleased his supporters but destabilized the financial system and led to a series of bank runs. Despite these challenges, Jackson managed to stave off a major financial crisis, and he also diffused the nullification crisis, which had threatened to tear the country apart over the issue of tariffs. In that instance, Jackson asserted the supremacy of federal authority over the states, and he sent troops to South Carolina to enforce the tariff laws. But he also worked out a compromise with South Carolina Governor John C. Calhoun, which reduced the tariff rates and thus averted a major conflict. By the end of his presidency, Andrew Jackson had fundamentally reshaped the American government. He had expanded the powers of the presidency at the expense of other branches. He had redefined American democracy to include all white men, regardless of property ownership, and he had left a legacy of both popular reform and profound injustice that would continue to reverberate for generations to come. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. It's free, and be sure to hit the like button.